flying on board the aircraft?
Good.
Now, first thing that needs to happen now is I need to see everybody's ID card from dog tags. Good. We're incapacitated, and we're out in the middle of nowhere. In the back of the helmet, right? In the back of the helmet of the aircraft, it's going to show it to you a little later on. There's a box, right? Come back.
Never been on one.
Then, you just want to tighten the top ones up, get it just about the side, about where your belly button's at, and then tighten up your lap belt. Now, if you come in from the bottom, there's a spot right here. Don't put it in there, please, because I'll have to end up cutting you out. It'll lock in permanently. Then to release it, just turn, and it'll all fall out. And that's it. So, any questions on seats? Also, when you're sitting here, keep your feet out in front of you. If you have them underneath it, in the event of a crash, the seat will strut down, and so if you have it underneath it, you can jack up your legs.
All right. As far as movement in the aircraft, all right. At no time, once you're belted inside to the aircraft, are you going to move around without he and I telling you to do so. Once we land wherever it is that we're going to land, we're going to get out. We're going to let you know when to exit the aircraft. But the key thing you need to remember is when you do leave the aircraft, you want to go out to the 3 o'clock where it has battery power. You can call it on those channels and maybe someone will be able to hear you. Security of equipment. If you have any equipment, I don't think anybody's going to come on board. There's no smoking in the aircraft, like every other military vehicle that you turn on, so don't smoke. And oxygen we don't have, and two.
Basic first aid kit. Signaling, we have mirrors, fire strobe lights, whistles.
Make sure that all their patients are secured to the floor. Another thing that we have on here, that's normally here, is the hoist. It normally sits on the left-hand side over here. With the hoist, we could fit up to about 3 people if we use a JP, and we're looking at a total weight of approximately about 600 pounds. So it's about 200 pounds per soldier to sit on the JP. It's got about 260 feet of cable. And we typically use that if we go into areas where we can't land the aircraft and we still need to get the patient out. Now, do you guys generally carry the skid codes on your vehicles? All right, here's the deal with that. If you have patients that are litter patients, right, that are not ambulatory enough to go along and sit on the JP, if you want to help us out and help yourself out and help your buddy out, what you have to do is take your patient out. If you know they're going to be hoisted out, set them up on the skid code, right? Get all your taglines and stuff set up, so by the time I show up, I get hoisted down from the aircraft. All I got to do is just double check your work, because if he's already pre-packaged already, we don't have to waste time trying to go along and trying to get that patient set up. He's already ready to go. All I got to do is just double check it and make sure everything's good to go. Attach the tagline, grab the. He's going to bring down the cable. We hook him up, and then we'll have a couple guys on the ground go along and maintain the tagline as we bring that patient back inside the aircraft. Another thing about lift we started to run into in Afghanistan was that some units had the ones that folded out, but they didn't have collapsible handles. And when you put them inside this aircraft, you're not going to be able to close the doors. So we had to get kind of creative and take the litters and kind of turn them off to the side. But that only works if I only have 2 patients. If I have 3, I can't do that.
Or we just cut the handles off.
Or we'll just cut the handles off if we have to. But we don't like destroying your guys' equipment. Another thing we'll also do for you too is if we land to pick up your patients, we'll do a one-for-one exchange. So if you use one of your litters and put your patient on board, we'll take one of our litters and toss them out to you. So that way you'll go along and you'll have a litter so you don't lose one. What else do we have on board here? All right, as far as electronics. On the MEDEVAC aircraft, typically what you're going to see is you're going to see a Zols, like the ones you guys typically would see in your aid station. We have suction, and we didn't bring it today, but we also have a ventilator and Zols, ventilator, and suction. So those are the electronic items that we're generally carrying on board right here. We have to use a ventilator or something if we like to have at least 6 bottles.
Come straight from the side from the 9 or the 3 o'clock. We'll talk about the 9 o'clock since we're already over. Come up here. When you're around the tank, like you said, watch the fin. Come around. I'll probably be standing here guarding it just in case. You'll come up here. I'll be standing inside the cabin after I wave you all into the blades. You'll hand off the one end of the litter to me. I'll carry it over to the other side. If you go probably about here, this is about as far back as I want you to go. If you have to come back here, if you go any further back, you got the tail rotor back there, and either side of the aircraft that you go on and you go back this way, it'll be pretty rough for you. I'll probably tackle you or something and drag you back up. The nose of the aircraft.
I'll be telling him.
Yeah. The nose of the aircraft, same deal. Don't approach from the nose. If we're on a slope, the blades can be tilted down, and they could lap your head off if you come up from that way too.
Even on a flat surface, the blades in the front can go as low as 4 feet. Do we have anybody shorter than 4 feet here? Or anybody who wants to be shorter than 4 feet? Trust me, my last unit had a pilot where they had a fire emergency, and he jumped out of the cockpit and he ran forward, and he's no longer with us today. Took his head off. Right there in Clarksville, Tennessee. So it's serious stuff. Cannot stress it enough. And during the crew brief, when you talk about do not enter this rotor system without being called in, at least get eye-to-eye contact, and they're looking at you. Do not enter the rotor system. I don't know if you said that or not.
One other thing. Where you're going along and you're loading these, if we had the wings and tanks on here and we had the carousel installed, kind of creative on how we have to load the patients. The carousel has to be turned at a 45-degree angle, so not only are you going to have to kind of maneuver around the tank, but you're going to have to make sure that the carousel is turned at a 45-degree angle and loaded on the litter pans.
This is not normal.
Yeah.
So us having wings and tanks was just to get down here, and I didn't want to drop.
All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the actual 9-line itself, and I'm going to talk to you about your LZs and how they need to be set up. First of all, we'll talk about that first. When you guys are setting up your LZs for your 9-line, all right, there's a couple of key considerations that you need to think about. You need to make sure that the area is going to be big enough to put the aircraft in there for starters. Generally, if you do 100 meters by 100 meters, it should be enough space for us to go along and get in there. Too tight. Or like I know some people still use the VF-17 panels, so that's for marking for your LZs. If you're going to use that, make sure that they are staked into the ground, because like I said before, when we fly over, it blows over all this stuff. You want to make sure that if you have your patient, it makes life living hell to try to load the patients in. So kind of be cognizant of where the slopes are located on in your LZs. Try to make it generally as a flat area, and that's pretty much it. Now, as far as it's not it could be potentially life-threatening injury, but it's not so bad to where they have to be evacuated within that 2 hours. So it's generally about 4 for those guys. For your routine patients, they have to be evacuated within 24 hours, and then your convenience is just that. Now, I can't stress enough the importance of making sure that you properly classify your patients, because I know what tends to happen, because I was a ground guy myself. If the situation provides, I'll take the helmet off and talk to you. If I can't, and I can't hear you, like, well, where's the x-rays? We don't have any. What do you think happened next? You went on a litter on the seat collar. So if you don't have any documentation, it didn't happen. Some things that I've seen medics do that works best, tape. You get that tape, that 3-inch tape, You put it on the leg, you put it on the chest, you put down whatever vitals that happened with the injuries. It makes things so much smoother because I get on the ground, I can talk to you and look and see everything that's done. So if you don't have the time to go along and fill out casualty feeder cards, if you have that tape, that works the best. Sharpies. Sometimes, I mean, I know it sucks, but if you have times where you have to actually... All right, so typically what's going to happen is here's your medevac scenario. You guys will drop your 9 lines, right? We'll be en route, and typically when we're about 5 miles out from your, what meds did he give? How long has he had the patient? And if he has any additional documentation, he's going to pass that off to me, right? So once I've checked that patient, then I'm going to tell you guys, because chances are it's going to be loud and you can't hear me, I'm going to tell you on 3, we're going to lift, right? So I'll give you the count. 3, 2, 1, lift. You guys will pick up the litter. Now, 3, lift. Guys, stay over here, follow me. And we'll come into the rotor disc. We'll go ahead and we'll go inside. Got it? Got it. Now we're all stuck over here by the aircraft. So, once we're done, I'm going to tell you guys go ahead and exit out. So when you exit out, you want to take the most direct way outside the rotor disc. All right, you want to stay within the width of the cargo door. So I'll tell you guys go ahead and go out. You'll go out single file. Okay. Once you guys have cleared the rotor disc, I'm going to hop inside, close the door, secure my patient, stand on the litter, and I'm going. Now, if you're working at a medical treatment facility and just say that you have to go along and offload patients, here's the way that's going to work. I'm going to land, come outside the aircraft. I'll find whoever's in charge and say, hey, look, I need 4 people. If I had multiple litters, I'd say I need 8. Right? So I'll grab 4 people. I'll get 4 of you in line. Go ahead and get in line. All right? Single file. All right. So once I got you guys ready, I'll say follow me. Follow me. We'll move the aircraft. So crew chief is going to be the inside of the aircraft. He's going to grab the litters. All right. And whenever he's ready, he's going to say, all right, I'm ready to go.
Ready.
All right, you guys are going to lift. All right, guide it around the tank. All right, whoever's at the head, make sure you have the litter. Got it? All right, so now, once you guys are all set, then you're going to follow me outside the rotor disc. Bring the patient out. Set him down. And he lives to see another day. All right, now at this point, when I get out the aircraft, I'm going to come out and give whoever's in charge, whoever the senior medical person is on the ground, I'm going to tell you exactly what I have and what happened to these patients, and I'm going to pass off any documentation that I had en route. Also, typically what I do is I go along and I hook them up to the vital signs machine, and I have to record everything as I take it. So when I get out, I'll hand you a copy of that, and I'll give you a brief description on the of everything that I found during the flight. As far as meds, that's one thing I didn't talk about.
Just tell us whenever we'll do it. Everyone already has all their...
This thing is like...
It was. No, it's good.
Situation is not a big deal. I mean, because I can still come down and that stuff is part of it. I need to go on what you need to is you need to make sure that you have the D-rings.
width of it.
It's just too strong.
Yeah.
These guys know that we're, what's that? We should let them know that we're coming back eventually, because we're going to take off and leave. Off the camera? Yeah. I told them I'm not responsible, and I'm not, I told them, I don't know how we were going to do that. So we're getting it back to them, though.
I just have
MEDEVAC, see you get out.
Grab the,
Thanks, I can.
Give me that.
Yep.
1 liter and I'm out.
All right, you guys get out. Should we continue on the table?
Sir Collins, be delivered.
All right. Hey, I got a bright red blood on the.
They came in on that one, right?
Wait,
Yeah.
Everybody, you okay? Can you hear me?
Here we go, Collins. Go out there for you now. Got it?
All right, I got 90 over pound BT.
90 over pound, BB.
Hey, BP 90 over belt.
Finish on my airways this time.
Got it?
Good. Right red bleeding stop. Blood and wounds. Blood and wounds. All right, let me know we're good guys.
Tourniquet good, bleeding stop.
You good?
The blood and wounds. Blood and wounds. You have the blood and wounds. Hey, sit up and take everything off. The blood and wounds. And could you sit up and take your shirt off? Put your hand out there. Sit up. All right. Let me know when my legs are good. Major average control. Go. Big one, one, fire. I'm going to go secure this tourniquet, still holding. Our second one on. Hey, not yet. Feel Jachi? No, you don't control. You gonna go? Roll. Let me know where we're at. We're good. Go. Wilson. He's good. All right, on my count. To your side. 1, 2,
Bilateral radio pulses.
Done. Good. All right, like it's fine, we'll go along. On my count, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Airborne in.
All right, reset your intermission, so we know where we're going to go.
Gets tight.
Okay, still holding. Good. All right, go ahead and get IV access to the base onto the vitals. Now you and Giachi. Hey, start recording training vitals first.
Do you need a second trigger on that?
Just a second.
Hey, you got your on the door, you can see your left index finger. All right. DP, you ready to record trending vitals?
What are the vitals? All right, I'll finish it. Go. All right.
Pulse of 70, respirations of 16, BP 120 over 80,
Pulse 70, respirations 16, what was the next one?
120 over 80.
What's the SPO2?
SPO2 is 100% at 1517.
Got it. 2.
All right, hey, take that off. Sharps. I want you to draw.
Sharps.
1 gram of 7. Sir, what do you want for pain?
You're morphine. You see conscious?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you give
1 gram
5
of
of morphine. Well, was it open? You stand that.
I have him make a transport decision. He's going to go. Make sure we get a good sample history, whoever my documentation is.
What's up?
Let me know when we're going to flush. Got it. Hey, you still with me, buddy? You okay? All right. Hey, my God. Hey, I've got no allergies. 0. We pushed 1 gram of 7 IV. 1 gram time. We pushed.
Ansef.
Ansef. Okay. We pushed. 1 gram. 5 milligrams. Hey, sir, how much morphine do we push? 5. All right.
All the 5.
1522 trending
All right.
vitals.
We don't need x-ray. Labs will
124
come
over
back.
70.
We're going to go ahead and move him to patient hold.
100
Yada, yada, yada.
SPO2.
All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. All right, good.
60 pulse.
All right, index. Okay, we're good. Thanks. Thanks, baby. Appreciate it.